There are moments in life that change everything. Moments that define us, test us, and sometimes leave scars, both physical and emotional. Today, I want to share with you one of the most extraordinary and inspiring stories of survival and resilience you'll ever hear. The story of Kachi Okwuchi. Her journey begins on a seemingly ordinary day in December 2005, a day that would become anything but ordinary. It's a story of tragedy, hope, and the unshakable human spirit. Let me take you there. It was December 10th, 2005, a Saturday. Kechi Okwuchi was 16 years old at the time, a high school student at Loyola Jesuit College in Abuja, Nigeria. Her classmates were like family, and excitement filled the air because it was the day they would head home for the holidays. The students boarded Sosoliso Airlines Flight 1145, a short domestic flight meant to take them from Abuja to Port Harcourt. Kechi was one of 109 people on board, including 60 of her classmates. None of them could have imagined that this flight would take such a devastating turn. About an hour into the flight, as they approached Port Harcourt, the weather began to change. Reports later revealed that visibility was poor due to heavy rain. But inside the cabin, the passengers remained mostly unaware of what was unfolding. Suddenly, as the plane began its descent, something went terribly wrong. The landing was far from smooth. The plane slammed into the ground and burst into flames. The crash site was catastrophic, and the wreckage left little hope for survivors. Out of 109 people on board, only 2 survived. One of them was Kachi Okwuchi. Kechi was pulled from the burning wreckage, her body covered in third-degree burns on over 65% of her skin. She was alive, but barely. The pain she endured in those first moments is unimaginable, and the odds were stacked entirely against her. She was rushed to a local hospital where doctors fought desperately to save her life. Her injuries were severe. She had lost almost everything: her skin, her hair, her sense of self. But Kechi didn't lose her will to survive. Now, here's where this story takes a turn that makes Kechi's journey not just one of survival, but one of transformation. You see, Kechi's recovery wasn't just about healing her body. It was about rebuilding her spirit and finding a new purpose in life. But before we get there, let's pause for a moment to reflect on what happened that day and why it's such a significant part of her story. The Sosoliso Airlines crash remains one of the deadliest aviation disasters in Nigerian history. Investigators discovered several factors that contributed to the tragedy, including poor weather conditions and an ill-equipped airport with no functional emergency response services. The crash raised important questions about safety regulations. But for Kechi, those questions would come later. In the aftermath, her only focus was survival. When Kechi woke up in the hospital, she didn't fully understand what had happened. She couldn't move, couldn't speak, and was covered in bandages. The pain was relentless. It wasn't just the physical scars. It was the knowledge that so many of her classmates, her friends, were gone. But through all of it, her family stood by her side. Their love became her anchor, and Kechi began what would be a long, grueling recovery process. Over the next several months, Kechi underwent more than 100 surgeries. She was eventually transferred to the United States for advanced treatment. It was there that her doctors not only saved her life, but gave her the tools to start reclaiming it. It wasn't easy. Imagine spending years in and out of surgeries, constantly facing stares from strangers because of your scars. But instead of letting those scars define her, Kechi chose to own them. And here's where Kechi's story becomes even more extraordinary. She found strength in her faith, her family, and something unexpected: music. Kechi discovered that singing brought her a sense of peace and joy. It was her way of expressing emotions that words couldn't capture. Little did she know that this passion would take her places she'd never imagined. In 2017, Kechi stepped onto one of the biggest stages in the world, America's Got Talent. With her voice, she not only wowed the judges, but inspired millions around the globe. She proved that beauty and strength come from within, and that even in the face of unimaginable tragedy, you can still rise. Kechi Okwuchi's story isn't just about surviving a plane crash. It's about resilience. It's about finding purpose after pain. And it's about showing the world that scars, whether physical or emotional, are not something to hide. They're proof of what we've endured and overcome. Today, Kechi is an author, a speaker, and a role model for anyone who's ever faced adversity. She reminds us all that life is precious, and no matter what challenges we face, we have the power to rise above them. So, the next time you think about giving up, remember Kechi's story. Because if she can survive a tragedy of that magnitude and still find joy, hope, and purpose, then so can we. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs a little inspiration today.